It was a cold, electric morning in late January 2025. Donald Trump had just crushed the election, reclaiming the presidency with a mandate that shook the nation. The streets of Washington, D.C. hummed with anticipation as his motorcade rolled toward the White House. He stepped out of his sleek black SUV, red tie blazing, hair perfectly coiffed despite the wind. Beside him stood J.D. Vance, his vice president, the scrappy Ohio senator who'd won over millions with his blunt talk and blue-collar roots. The duo waved to a sea of supporters, their red MAGA hats dotting the crowd like a patriotic quilt. Chants of Trump, Trump, Trump filled the air, a victory song for the ages. On the other side of the White House lawn, a different story played out. Joe Biden, looking older than ever, shuffled toward the exit with his staff in tow. His presidency had fizzled out, a slow fade into irrelevance, and now he was leaving the grand stage for good. Behind him trailed Kamala Harris, the Democrats' fallen star. She'd run a campaign full of promises but couldn't escape the shadow of Biden's failures. Her loss to Trump stung deep, and it showed. Her face was a mask of forced calm, but her eyes burned with resentment. In her arms, she held the leash of Luna, her dogo argentino, a hulking white beast with a stare that could freeze a man solid. The timing was straight out of a Hollywood script. As Biden and Harris reached the South Portico for their final goodbye, Trump and Vance ascended the steps to take their rightful place. A crowd of onlookers, a mix of reporters, die-hard fans, and curious locals pressed in close, phones recording every second. Secret Service agents hovered, their hands near their holsters, sensing the tension. Nobody expected what came next. Kamala's gaze locked onto Trump and Vance. She'd spent years despising them, and now they were here, gloating in her defeat. Trump flashed his signature grin, tipping his head as if to say, "Nice try, kid." Vance, though, wasn't playing coy. He stepped forward, his voice booming over the murmurs of the crowd. "Well, look who we've got here. Sleepy Joe and his woke apprentice. You two nearly ran this country into the ground. Lucky for us, the American people woke up and kicked you to the curb." The crowd exploded, cheers clashed with boos, and the air crackled with energy. Biden blinked, dazed, like he'd wandered into the wrong movie. Kamala, though, bristled. Her grip on Luna's leash tightened, her nails digging into the leather. She wasn't about to let this slide. Trump slapped Vance on the back, grinning wider. "That's right, JD, give it to 'em straight. They've been dodging the truth too long." Vance didn't need more encouragement. He pointed at Kamala, his voice sharp and unrelenting. "This woman had a plan, folks. She wanted to erase Christianity from our schools, our courts, our culture. She wanted to fling open the borders, let every illegal flood in, and turn America into some migrant free-for-all. And don't forget the economy. Her socialist schemes would have bankrupted us faster than you can say Green New Deal." But that's not all. You want to talk personal? Those secret tapes, the hidden affairs, the scandals she buried. We've got the dirt, and it's uglier than her campaign ads. The accusations landed like grenades. The crowd gasped, some shouting, "Amen!" while others yelled, "Liar!" Phones zoomed in, capturing every word. Kamala's mask cracked. "You're a fraud, Vance," she snapped, stepping closer. "A small-town nobody with a big mouth." Vance didn't flinch. "Call me what you want, Kamala. The voters called you a loser, and they're right." Trump laughed, loud and brassy. "She's steaming, folks. Look at her. Can't handle the heat. That's why she's out and we're in. Big league." That was the breaking point. Kamala's face twisted with rage. She yanked Luna's leash free, her voice low and venomous. "Get him, girl!" The dogo argentino sprang forward, a white missile of fury, aimed straight at Vance. The crowd shrieked as the dog barreled into him, knocking him off the steps. Its jaws sank into his leg, ripping through fabric and flesh. Vance hit the ground with a grunt, flailing as Luna snarled and shook her head, her teeth locked tight. Pandemonium broke loose. Secret Service agents rushed in, shouting orders, but hesitated to shoot. The crowd scattered, some screaming, others filming. Trump stumbled back, eyes wide. "What is this insanity? She's lost it. Get that monster off him." Kamala stood frozen, arms crossed, a chilling smirk on her lips. Biden turned to her, voice shaky. "Kamala, stop this. What are you doing?" She ignored him, her gaze fixed on Vance as he writhed in pain, blood pooling beneath him. It took 4 agents to wrestle Luna off. They dragged the dog back, its muzzle stained red, while medics swarmed Vance. He was pale, sweating, but still spitting fire. "You're a lunatic, Harris," he yelled, clutching his leg. "A total disgrace." The scene was chaos. Trump supporters chanted, "Lock her up," as cameras rolled, beaming the madness to millions. Trump faced the press, hands on hips. "This is the left, folks. They can't win, so they attack. With dogs. Unbelievable. Sad." Vance was stretchered off to Walter Reed, his suit in tatters, his leg a mess. Doctors said he'd pull through, but he'd be out of commission for weeks. Luna didn't fare so well. Animal control stormed in, seizing the dog as a clear and present danger. Kamala protested, claiming Luna was just defending her, but the excuse fell flat. Within hours, headlines blared, "Harris's Hellhound Mall's VP, Trump team ambushed at White House." The fallout was instant. Conservative radio hosts went ballistic. "This is who they wanted in charge," one thundered. "A woman so unhinged she'd unleash a killer dog on her enemies." Fox News ran the clip on loop, pundits dissecting every frame. Social media erupted with memes. Luna behind bars, Vance as a wounded warrior, Trump smirking like a king. Republicans rallied, calling it a symbol of Democrat desperation. Kamala tried to fight back. She held a press conference, tears in her eyes, insisting Vance's vicious lies provoked her. "Luna's a good girl," she said, voice cracking. "They attacked me first." But the public wasn't buying it. Polls tanked harder. Lawsuits flew in from Vance's camp, alleging assault and reckless endangerment. Some in the crowd even sued, claiming trauma from the White House dogfight. Biden's team ghosted her, leaving her to face the storm alone. Trump settled into the Oval Office, unfazed. At his first briefing, he leaned into it. "JD's a champ, folks, tough as nails. That dog, not so lucky. I told Kamala maybe try a goldfish next time. Less drama. We're here to fix things, not fight pets." Vance emerged from the hospital 10 days later, crutches under his arms, fire in his eyes. He spoke to a packed rally, voice steady. "They tried to break me, but I'm still here. That's America. We don't bow to radicals or their dogs. We stand tall." The crowd roared, waving signs. "Vance fights back." The story grew legs. Trump's inauguration leaned hard into the saga. "We're cleaning up, folks," he said, pausing for applause. "No more chaos, no more mutts, just results. America first, always." Luna, meanwhile, sat in a government kennel, her fate up in the air. Some called for her to be put down, others wanted her shipped off. PETA weighed in, but nobody cared. Kamala faded fast. Her name became a punchline, her career a wreckage. Whispers of criminal charges lingered, from animal cruelty to inciting violence. Republicans milked it for all it was worth, painting her as the villain in a tale of triumph. Trump and Vance, scarred but stronger, took the helm, ready to steer the nation their way. The White House stayed quiet, no barking in sight, and America watched, waiting for the next chapter.